I don't know how to make a decent intro for these kinds of videos since this is my first big one, so I'm probably just gonna ramble a bit. On another note, I'm actually a Sonic 06 defender. Yeah, I think Sonic 06 wasn't that. This topic has been done to absolute death recently, and maybe even before that. I bet the people watching right now are wondering why would they want to listen to me rant about why I think Sonic is garbage and needs to be fixed. Well, to put it shortly, if Aaron Hansen is allowed to shit on Sonic, so can I. By the way, I'm not actually talking about Sonic 06 as the main topic. It's about Sonic and the stories and the games, so please bear with me. But in all honesty, yes, I do understand how many videos there are on this topic, but I find this topic to be insanely important to me as my first game ever was Sonic Heroes, and Sonic the Hedgehog as a whole is my favorite gaming franchise out there next to the Xenoseries and Zelda. I'm an absolute sucker for good stories. I watched a lot of media with intense stories growing up, such as Teen Titans, Dragon Ball, and yes, Sonic. And when I say intense stories, I mean it in the sense that the stories are considered more mature for, I guess, a wee 7-year-old like me back in the day. And I would consider the older Sonic games to have those deeper meanings and higher messages that definitely flew by me as a kid. But being 17 years old now, and my mind having a solid idea of what makes a good story, at least to my standards, I hate modern Sonic with an absolute passion, and I'm not saying that because it's a haha funny popular opinion right now. That's just what I think from growing up with the series and replaying all the older and newer entries in the series for this video. I mean, you know, we all do that sometimes. We all just kind of play every single Sonic game in preparation for a single video. And when I say I hate modern Sonic, I don't mean modern Sonic as a whole. No, I'm mainly talking about the absolute roller coaster that was the 2010s for Sonic. People always have a definite dark age for Sonic, with the most popular opinion being around Shadow the Hedgehog 2 Unleashed. But now with the times changing, people are starting to rethink that timeline, and me too. My definitive dark age for Sonic would be Colors to Now. You heard me right. Sonic Colors to Now. These Sonic colors that reinvented the entire series and brought the character back into the public eye and not a laughingstock anymore. Kind of. That's Sonic Colors. Yeah, I don't like it. I promise this whole video won't be negative, so please stay with me. But yeah, I won't lie. I liked Sonic Colors as a kid, and I do enjoy it from time to time now, but the lasting impact that game had on the series is pretty much why I despise it. The wacky premise, the lighthearted story, the half-assed levels. People praise this game for what it was and what it brought to the table, but looking back on it now, this game's not that great. I only like it maybe 4 levels in the game, but I digress. This video is mainly about how the modern Sonic stories don't work and won't work. I swear I'm getting to that. But it's kind of necessary to talk about the past because most of this video would not make sense if I talked exclusively about Forces and Lost World and all the other ones I'm going to talk about. Of course, let's get to the main point. My name is D.Doe, and these are how the modern Sonic stories just don't work. So I'm going to make a couple points here. My primary example of the crime is Sonic Forces. No! Sonic Forces released in 2017, yada yada yada, this game sucks, it's the most soulless, passionless experience I've ever had with a game. So the story starts off with Eggman declaring how much he hates Sonic and how he's gonna destroy him with this new thing. And we're told that
the boss means business this time.
That. There's already so many problems with this single cutscene that it just bothers me so much. First off, instead of being told that you hate Sonic, maybe you could show us that you hate him. Maybe looking at past events with flashbacks to previous games where you get beaten over and over, or maybe, have expression on the character models to show that Eggman hates Sonic. Next issue is, where the hell are we? Like, I get it, it's Eggman's lab, but this story goes out of its way to have a world map, yet it does such a bad job at world building. I honestly don't get it. Next is Orbot, telling us how the boss is gonna mean it this time, which I'm gonna bring this a lot, but maybe instead of telling us, maybe show us in the cinematography, in the characters, the voice, the animations that he means it. All that, essentials to a good story. In all honesty, I feel we could come to the conclusion of what Eggman said if Sonic Team didn't treat us like idiots. It doesn't make sense to me. This tell not show bullcrap happens way too much in this story, but I'll skip over the smaller details of this strategy and actually explain the bigger points, like the time skip. Dear God, the time skip. Next is Sonic heading over to the city in Green Hills after Tails tells Sonic that Eggman is wreaking havoc on the city. Sonic hurries over there and saves the day, only to be tossed around like a soccer ball by the game's mysterious new villain, and some of the old ones too. I feel the big reason why they put the older villains besides nostalgia is just to remind us that yes, continuity exists in Sonic games, and yes, the two worlds bullshit is true. I refuse to accept it, but forces me to accept it. Tails whips out his camera as Sonic gets his ass torn apart after crashing into a wall. Sonic gets put down, then Tails uploads the footage to LiveLeak. Now, here's where my biggest issue with the game's story comes in. As most of you may know, Sonic gets, and I say, tortured for 6 months, and there's just some text on screen telling us what happened. If Sega has the pair of meaty clackers to say that, yeah, Sonic has been tortured for half of a year, you'd think they would follow through with it, right? Well, wrong. This game is for little baby kids, while trying too hard to appeal to older fans. This is not how you write a story, or a good one at least. Now, I'm going to explain the purpose of a time skip. Time skip, plural time skips, fandom slang. An instance of fast-forwarding a substantial amount of time, such as years or decades, as a narrative device in a story, quickly aging the characters and developing events. As you can see, a time skip is a narrative device used to forward a plot, but almost always used quickly to move past a certain amount of time where, let's say, not very much happened, or something along those lines. This is used incredibly well in shows like One Piece, where the time skip is used for the Straw Hat crew to train and prepare themselves for the foes in the second half of the Grand Line, aka the New World, after Luffy realized he was nowhere near strong enough to take on the 7 warlords and 4 emperors in Marineford. After the time skip, the characters afterwards had grown with new techniques and abilities, being strong enough to face the stronger enemies. You can use a time skip effectively like in One Piece, or you can use a time skip like in Sonic Forces, where the only thing that happened was Eggman taking over the world.
Well, Sonic Forces had a 6-month time skip while One Piece had a 2-year time skip. Last time I checked, that's a big jump in time, and not as much can happen in 6 months as 2 years.
Well, I mean, Black Clover had a time skip of 6 months, and look at the development on the characters like Asta, for example. Yeah, I guess the differences in time is a bit vast, but the point is, no matter how long your time skip is, there's always an effective way to use it, unless you're Sonic Forces. And might I add that the time skips for Black Clover and many other shows happened well into the series? This time skip happened within the first 3 minutes of the game. The Resistance characters didn't even show up until the time skip. Sonic Forces had a 6-month time skip where none of the actual characters went through any change, they just kind of formed a resistance with Knuckles as the leader. Even if none of the characters went through any change whatsoever, it wouldn't be that hard to give them slight redesigns to show that time had passed or that Robotnik/Eggman had taken over the world. Like, for serious, it could be as simple as giving characters more rugged designs, like giving Knuckles enhanced gloves for combat, or give Silver a scarf, or maybe even Shadow a gun! Okay, I wouldn't go that far, but you get the point. And I guess most of the effort they put into showing this change is in the backgrounds, which is actually one of the good things in this game, as it does really well with its backgrounds. The backgrounds in this game tell more of a story than the actual plot in this game, which should honestly be an embarrassment to Sonic Team. If they weren't so lazy, they could at least put down a narration with some animations actually showing Eggman taking over the world and Infinite at least doing something. It's still bad, but it's much better than what we were given. It could be a lot better. But anyways, the Resistance is finding ways to help civilians take the world back from Eggman when Knuckles finds a new recruit to join the Resistance, which is a survivor from the city, implying that, yes, many people have died. The recruit is your own Sonic OC, again, a survivor from the city. Your OC has no character, or no name, they just call him Rookie, even though he wouldn't be hard to give the Rookie a voice in the game considering they implemented all those customization options, but whatever. We then cut to Tails losing it. You could tell he's lost it considering that when Chaos shows up, Tails goes spread eagle, ready to take whatever Chaos is ready for him, until...
Sonic? You're alive! Wait, what?
I swear to God, it takes an iron will trying to stay on one topic for this video. Like, hold on, let me go through this cutscene going off topic for a minute. How did Omega get here? Why is he dead? Why can't Tails fix Omega? His IQ is on par with Eggman's, arguably higher considering that Eggman gets defeated so often, and Eggman created Omega, therefore, Tails should be able to fix him. Why is Tails asking for Sonic to save him even though he saw Sonic literally die? Is he in grief? Is that why they say he lost it? I don't know, this game doesn't ever explain anything. Again, why is Tails asking Sonic to save him? He fought Chaos 4, which considering that Chaos is here, means that what Tails did is canon, considering Tails went through that whole arc about becoming his own person. How did Classic Sonic get here? Considering that Tails asked if Sonic was alive, meaning he was presumed dead, again, why is he asking for Sonic to save him? Last time I checked, they never met Sonic that was from another dimension. Maybe Tails was dumber than I thought.
Right, that makes sense.
No, it fucking doesn't. Maybe they know, but for the story to make sense, we need to know the context here, otherwise the story doesn't work.
Maybe the power that Eggman is using is somehow affecting other dimensions.
What power that Eggman is using? How do they know that Eggman is using a mysterious power? Must be a damn powerful source by affecting other dimensions. By the way, this would be cool, affecting the other dimensions thing, if it was mentioned or used any other time in the story, not just to bring Classic Sonic in. Just proves that he was nothing but a selling point.
We need to save the world, and maybe that's why you're here, to help save the world.
No, he is here to sell the game. That is all.
Either way, it's still good to see you, Sonic. Heck, it's good to see any Sonic.
No, it is not good to see him. By putting him here, you are giving the other characters much less to do, thereby making them useless, which raises the question, why put them in the game anyways? I mean, no one else was in Sonic Colors or Lost World, so why here? Oh yeah, to sell. We next see Infinite in, I presume, a flashback, destroying a city, saying your savior is no more, like God is dead or something. I mean, in the comics, which are canon, the world in which they live in is called Sonic's world. So does that mean Sonic is Jesus? Jesus the Hedgehog, mayhaps?
Jesus the Hedgehog. This can't exist. This exists.
Also in the flashback, we see the OC get scared as hell as Infinite states that his anxiety and fear is delicious. I mean, if someone said that to me, yeah, I'd be scared too. Or aroused, you know, you can never be too sure. Depends on the context. He wants him to flee screaming and he'll let him live. We never see the OC running away, so I'm assuming that he fucking died. Oh wait, no, it's a flashback, duh. Oh, also Sonic is alive, but, I mean, it wouldn't be called Sonic Forces if he wasn't, so... He's in jail and he fights Zavok, so that's cool. If anyone even remembered or liked Zavok in the first place. How did Sonic's cuffs come undone? Because that is a serious fault in the security, considering that this man has a 300 IQ, and he built the design of this place. And if the alarms went off, I highly doubt any prison on Earth would let their prisoners free. That is just bad design. But this game exists, so it's not that unlikely. The Rookie and Sonic meet up on the Death Egg and escape after this honestly sickening exchange between Sonic and Knuckles.
It's been a while since I've seen a friendly face.
Hey, Rookie, you still in one piece?
Oh, sure. Don't even bother to ask how I am.
Sonic!
Amy?
I'm so glad!
Hold up, Amy.
Is there an exit around here? Your concern is touching, Knuckles.
Yeah, it is, Sonic. His concern is touching you, slimy asshole. I swear to God this writing is so bad. Like a similar banter exchange happened in Sonic Heroes, and you know what Sonic says?
Boy, talk about cutting it close.
Not really.
Come on, tell me you weren't scared. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have had a chance.
Well, maybe you're right. Thanks, Knuckles. You too, Tails.
That is character in action, my friends. This Sonic is a cocky asshole who says he cares about all of his friends, but when he says shit like this, it's so hard to believe because he's just a cunt. Anyways, Silver is fighting Infinite and somehow gets bodied by him, but Sonic comes out and relatively unscathed by it. But if I'm going to be honest here, I like the exchange that Sonic and Infinite have. This may contradict some things I've said, but this exchange reminds me of the better Sonic in the 2000s. You know, the Sonic with the cheesy, snarky attitude who knows that he's unstoppable, but doesn't come off as a little bitch. Also, I totally never saw this on any of the times that I've played this game and saw this cutscene, but Silver's just kind of there in that scene, struggling to get up, which I honestly think is hilarious. Infinite actually acknowledges that Sonic has improved since their last battle, which is actually a sign of the time skip in effect, but honestly, Isn't Sonic the one that shouldn't have improved here, since he didn't really do much besides getting tortured for 6 months, but whatever. Eggman and Infinite talk to each other about the Phantom Ruby prototypes, which exist, I guess. I don't know, this is all fucked up. Classic Sonic follows Eggman and beats him in a battle, and Eggman literally pulls a smooth brain move, which is just unexpected. I don't... nostalgia, I guess. He tells him that he's gonna kill them all in 3 days, which is, again, the smoothest brain move I've ever heard for a man with 300 IQ. He's pulled this shit before on Sonic Heroes, except it did a good job at conveying the plot. The rookie finds a Phantom Ruby prototype dropped by Infinite at the battle with Silver and stumbles with Classic and Tails. After that, Tails and Sonic have a reunion and kiss.
You worry too much. Look, I'm perfectly fine.
That's the issue. Tails explain what's gonna go down, Sonic says a one-liner and the cutscene ends. They then locate Shadow, who has been spotted in the city, but it's not Shadow, rather that it is a fake. Apparently Shadow went off on his own adventure doing something that isn't explained until episode Shadow, which does a worse job at telling the events that transpired than not telling them at all. Apparently these bad guys aren't the bad guys, just clone of the bad guys, but with no soul. The Phantom Ruby can just do anything at this point. The Resistance does a thing, and the rookie fights Infinite, which, by the way, Infinite threatens to literally torture the OC, and hoping that afterwards, the torture will kill them. Good to know. Also, what are Infinite's motives here? Like, they are never explained, and I highly doubt Infinite wants to kill everyone because Shadow called him dog water. That's stupid. For the rest of the plot, I'm just gonna explain it's like Sonic Forces, because why the fuck not? Sonic Forces is lazy, so will I. They get into the Death Egg. It explodes. They fight Eggman. Sonic goes to Brazil. Sonic leaves Brazil. You've heard of Eggman pissing on the moon. Now get ready for Eggman shitting on the sun. The rookie uses the Phantom Ruby to stop Sun. Sonic kills Eggman. Oh my god. Like, no, seriously, after the final boss ends, after Sonic, and DeviantArt Sonic shoot through the middle of Sonic Colors Final Boss version 3, Eggman is never seen again. Therefore, presumed dead. Pretty dark, but it's on them for being lazy. Also, Classic Sonic got Thanos snapped, thank God. And that's about it. Yeah, 2.5-hour game summarized.
Why did you poorly explain the rest of the plot?
Dude, I'm fucking tired, both physically and mentally, of this game. If I explained it in more detail, I would get off track way too much, and this video would be pointless, way more pointless as it already is. I feel like this video would have a stronger effect if I were to review and talk about the actual games I talk about in this video, but there are reviews for everything, so I don't really know, I guess. I want to talk about the game as a whole, but I'm here talking about the stories, which I swear, I'm getting to it. Now, the reason I went so kind of in-depth for the Forces story here is because I want everyone to know what a bad Sonic story looks like. I'm now going to explain what a good Sonic story looks like. I won't go as in-depth here, but I will explain the stories of why I like them, so let's get into it. God, doing longer videos takes it out of you. Okay, the main examples I'm going to take for a good Sonic story are Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes, each having their own section describing the story, how it affected the overall game, and what made it so good, starting with... With Sonic Adventure 2, the jump in storytelling is already apparent with the first cutscene in the game alone. Sonic is in a military helicopter being held captive by gun soldiers. We are shown right off the bat Sonic's character and what he will act like later in the game, just from this short but sweet cutscene. Sonic pulling off these insane stunts, living by his own rules, and not giving a damn about what others think. This is what Sonic should act like, although I think his character peaked in Black Knight. We then continue to the first level of Sonic sledding down a city highway, running from the police in a city escape with a perfect track to go along with the level's theme. This song does a perfect job at setting the tone of the level and what's at stake.
Yeah? Wait, why are you talking about the levels and music in the games now? I thought you were talking about storytelling in Sonic games, you idiot!
But it is! That's the thing. Storytelling can come in many forms, like how I explained with the backgrounds of forces. Storytelling can also come in the form of environment, the presentation, the music, and many others. It's pretty fascinating, actually. If there's one thing that Sonic has done well 99% of the time, is make a banger soundtrack. I don't think that there is a single Sonic soundtrack out there with at least 2 banging soundtracks. I say that because there are a couple soundtracks that are lacking in my opinion. Lost World and Boom, but you know. This game does a wonderful job at not being lazy either, unlike my scripts. This game actually has a decent plot, well, not being perfect, does a good job at telling what it wants to tell in two fragmented stories ending in one final clash that ties, well, most things together and actually added upon in later entries such as Sonic Heroes and, yes, Shadow the Hedgehog. Sonic Adventure 2's story follows Eggman as he actually finds his grandfather's secret life form, Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow's character and motives are done relatively well throughout the story, being a villain at first, but realizing that what Marina wanted was for Shadow to save the world and not to kill all the humans. Which, on that subject, I don't even need to explain the entire story to get my point across. I just said it right there. Another thing Force's story and all the 2010 Sonic game stories lack is character. Character arcs, character motives, etc, etc. What carries the plot in these games are the characters, and, well, without the characters, one, the franchise wouldn't have as broad as appeal as it does, and the plot would feel deprived and empty like Sonic Colors and Generations. Least I could say is that Lost World and Forces kind of tried a character. People, especially Sega, often forget that Sonic is a character and not just a mascot. Sonic has emotions and feelings just like everybody else, and people do forget that, I swear. Like, I get it, Sonic is supposed to be this unstoppable force, but even shows compassion and care for his friends in these older games, and oh my god, Shadow fucking cried actual tears! Shadow the Hedgehog sacrificed himself so the people of Earth can live happily with a bright future, after realizing what he was doing was wrong and not what his only friend wanted. Eggman even showed emotion at the end of Sonic Adventure 2 for his grandfather. It's these character moments that make the game so much more rich and why it still resonates with people today. The reason people remember Forces in the future won't be because of its gameplay, not because of its story. The reason people will remember Sonic Forces is because of its absolute mediocrity, and even then I'm feeling I'm giving it too much credit. Sonic Heroes is one of my favorite games of all time and will probably remain that way for as long as I live. As long as I live. What the fuck? It's not perfect, but it is to me. And I feel like I believe it to have one of the best Sonic stories of all time just because of its complex simplicity and subtlety and character. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. Sonic Heroes has many paths to take, 4 to be exact. Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, and Team Chaotix, each having their own unique story while being part of a larger whole, and that's what I kinda mean. Sonic stories don't have to be these epic, grand, complex adventures to be compelling or good. Maybe all it takes is going to go beat Eggman, or in this case, Metal Sonic, or just trying to pay the fucking rent. The story is simple but works so well and achieves what it wants to do without even trying. Well, maybe it does try, I'm not really too sure on that. So the game starts with Sonic running. He meets up with Tails, which is apparently it's been a while since they've seen each other, and read a note from Eggman saying he's gonna conquer the world in 3 days, and it's up to Sonic Team to stop them. Yep, that's it. That's the entire plot. Compared to the other games, this is a fucking cakewalk. Team Dark kinda has its own deal going on. Rouge finds one of Eggman's labs and plans to steal some treasure, but only finds Shadow the Hedgehog in a capsule and E123 Omega. Shadow comes out of the capsule and saves Rouge from Omega, and they sort out these differences. Shadow wants to know his past because he lost his memory after being presumed dead for a while. Rouge is there, I can't remember why, and Omega wants to fucking kill Eggman. Sounds fun. Team Rose wants to find a Chow and Froggy, nothing out of the ordinary there, and Team Chaos just wants to pay the rent. Normal human stuff. Normal Sonic stuff, even. But the icing on the cake here is once you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and you unlock the last story which actually ties all the stories up. Turns out that Eggman was being held captive all this time, and Metal Sonic was the one behind the 3-day plan, which kicks off the final act as everyone pulls together for one last hoorah, as probably the most banging Sonic track plays in almost all of gaming, period. The simplicity in the story adds for so much secret hidden complexity in my opinion. The story isn't as in-your-face as the adventure games, but uses the subtlety to its advantage. The game uses dialogue and stages and character interactions to further enrich the story and give something extra for the ones willing to look into it. It's honestly amazing, once looked into Shadow's fate being left up to the imagination, how Metal Sonic rebelled because he was programmed to beat Sonic and used every measure to get there, and how Sonic acknowledges his friends and how he couldn't have done it without them. It's all done so well. So what's wrong with the newer games? Now, I've been pretty harsh and pretty lenient on certain things in this video, and I do want to heavily state that, this is all my opinion, and you're obviously entitled to your own opinion, just don't think that it's fact, because it's not. These videos that I'll do in the future are just my opinion and my thoughts alone on certain matters in games and anime. I care for Sonic, I really do, and it absolutely pains me to see his games go through these struggles when they used to be so good. That's all. Now, what I think is wrong with the games today is how Sega handles them in terms of target audience. Iizuka tries to make these games to have every audience in existence, like for fuck's sake, man. They try to appeal to modern fans with the series' story, they try to appeal to classic fans with classic Sonic, even though he just had his own game a couple months prior that was actually really good. They try to appeal to the deviant artists with an OC creator, they try to appeal with a more mature audience, again with a darker story, but then retcon the shit out of it by making it kid-friendly the next. They try to appeal to the meme community. Do you at least understand where I'm coming from? Sonic is all over the place, running around at the speed of sound, and Sega wants to sell as many units as possible, probably because they're scared of Sonic failing for good. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. At least the older games had a unified vision of what they wanted to be. For the most part. I do feel that part of it has to do with the idea that classic and modern game designs are considered as two different separate entities now. At least as far as the target audience thing goes, the Dreamcast era and 2000s games weren't even trying to appeal to everyone, and that's okay. Sonic has a distinct personality, a unique style. He's a character, not a mascot like how Sega treats him now. He lives by his own rules, fights his own battles, not this power of friendship bullshit. To put it into better terms, Sonic was a shonen action hero like Goku or Luffy. But, of course, not anymore. He's a Saturday morning cartoon character who speaks in nothing but one-liners. Sonic was and still is my favorite video game character of all time, and seeing him like this hurts me a lot. The Sonic movie, at least in my opinion, did Sonic's character really well and gave him a personality I feel a lot of teens and young adults can relate with. Again, Sonic doesn't need to relate to everyone, and that's alright. Just like my scripts, Sonic stories are all over the place, and I think it's finally at the point where the fans are sick of it, which is understandable. It's currently 2021, which means it's Sonic's 30th anniversary. At the time of writing this, not recording this, but writing this, there is no current announcements for Sonic's main games, besides Prime, and, well, that's it. I'm not really gonna get my hopes up on that, but, you know, only time will tell. Hopefully Sonic's anniversary won't be a flop, but we can never be sure. This was just a video about me rambling about Sonic for insert time here, and I apologize if I strayed away for a bit, but what can you do? Anyway, until next time, to none of the people who actually watched until the end, my name is D.Doe, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, thank God I found you.
Huh? X-Pool? When did you get here?
I used a portal in space-time to arrive in the past and warn you of events to come.
Oh, well, I mean the door's right there.
No, you don't get it. In about 5 minutes, a bomb will go... Oh, wait, what time is it?
11:23 a.m.
Well,